Hello and welcome, fellow Pathfinders. My name is Deanna and welcome to the channel. Right, we're just going to do a quick energy reading today, see what energies we're working with. Sorry if I sound a bit croaky, I've still got this coldy thing going on at the minute. Right, we'll just get right into it today. So, what sort of energies are we working with? Okay. Right. Delays around money. A celebration. Needing more confidence. Money improvements and peace of mind. Right, okay. Right, so some sort of delays with money or around money. This could also be to do with a job or, career path or, some sort of income that's been a bit delayed. The good news is there's a celebration coming in, bright happenings. So that tells me it should clear up. Needing more confidence. Right. So I've got needing more confidence in yourself. What I'm getting off this one is needing more confidence in decision making around about your finances. Picking something that's right for you is more important than, what it's worth, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense. As in, all that you get offered is not gold, it's not for you. So using your own discernment, of whether it benefits you or not, benefits someone else. That could go back in with the confidence about money, money decisions. And peace of mind, joining of two people. What I'm getting with this one is with someone in particular, relationship issues. Maybe this has got something to do with the joining of two people. Maybe you're getting married, maybe you're moving in together, maybe you're getting a joint bank account, that sort of thing. What was getting off that then, Spirit? Right, what I'm getting off that was someone who's not got confidence with money joining with someone else that's got money. Maybe a feeling of imbalance there somewhere. Doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. It could be someone joining a new business, for instance, or maybe partnering up with someone in business. Yeah, I'm getting some sort of worries over that, whether it'd, to go joint or not. Only you can decide that. I am getting, though, that you'll figure it out because we've definitely got celebrations, bright happenings. So whatever's going on there, will sort itself out. Better decision making, as I said before. What's right for you and what seems a bit good to be true, too good to be true. Losses, but all is not lost. You still have 3 swords, giving you the upper hand. Right, yeah, this is what I was saying a minute ago, wasn't I? You've got to weigh up, from the options available to you, which one's right and which one's not. You will know in your gut you know, whether it's right for you or not. Don't be swayed by another person, you know, telling you something's a good idea. I'm getting more confidence in your own decisions, yeah? You've got 2 5s as well, and a 3 and a 2 5. So what I'm getting off that is change, a change in the way that you view things, maybe a change in the way that you review paperwork, for instance. Maybe you've had a look at your bank statements. Drawing out a budget is what I'm getting here as well. You know, maybe yeah, I'm getting budget. So maybe drawing out, you know, your incomings and outgoings. And if you are working, you know, as a partnership in whatever form, you know, whether that be a relationship or a partner, you know, business partnership, maybe both draw out your incomings, outgoings, you know, and then to do with that business or that home, you know, what's going to be the joint incoming and outgoing. Yeah. And then draw up a plan of action. I also feel like if you do this, or, you know, in some sort of format, you know, business plan or, you know, budgeting plan, if anything comes up in the future, you've catered for it. You know, if there's any issues. You'll also get more ideas on how to save money and where it's leaking from. Is also what I'm getting there. You know, for instance, if, I don't know, example, you know, you go to Costa or, you know, to get a coffee every morning and it's costing like, you know, £5, $5, whatever. But you hadn't realised that, you know, say you go 5 days out of the week, that's 25 quid, you know, that you could have saved for something else. You know, that's an example, but, you know, that kind of thing where you're hemorrhaging money, basically, and where you could save a little bit, even if it's, you know, a couple of quid somewhere. Right, so what else do we have, Spirit, to clarify this? Oh, Spirit. Ah, right, faces are off. Right, okay. Right, well, I'm getting a couple of different things from this card. I'm getting, seeing through any illusion, you know, with people. This could come back to the confidence thing, you know, having more confidence in your own, you know, decision making, discernment. Also, though, if you've been struggling, you know, as we were talking about finances, struggling with any finances, you know, maybe in the past, an example that you've had a problem budgeting, yeah. As I was saying before about the, you know, going for a coffee every morning, maybe you've just sort of blanked that out, you know, like, oh no, but, you know, I'm not spending that much on it, or, you know, being blind to it sort of thing. By installing this budget, you know, budgeting plan, like I said before, you know, you can see where them losses have occurred, or, you know, where you could even make more money. As an example, you know, maybe you had, I don't know, an internet provider, say, yeah, and you've been with this internet provider and say it was £30 or $30, you know, a month, and it was low band, you know, you ain't really getting, you know, your money's worth. If you shop around, then you could find some, you know, a different internet provider that would save you money with a better better bandwidth, as an example. Or if you've got your own business and it's, your packaging, say, you go to one package provider, for your boxes or your, business cards or whatever, and, you found another one cheaper, you saved a lot of money there as well. Yeah. I think with this card, though, it's showing you that there's maybe not everything that you've been doing up to now has been working, and, what reason that is. Like I said before about the budgeting, if you put it all down on paper, then you know where you're going, don't you? Also, though, I'm also getting there with someone in particular, seeing who was just around for the money or what you could give them. Yeah. Seeing through that now. Right, I've got success. So, whatever sort of money matters was going on here financially, success. So, if you were going to start a business, with someone, or, this one you stood on your own here, yeah? Hang on, I'm just... Right, I've got, think of yourself as a success before introducing anybody else to the mix. What's that mean, Spirit? Be confident in yourself and the way that you're working. And that will bring like-minded people, yeah? You'll know when people are on the same level as you and not just using you. That's what I'm getting off that. Getting any more on that? I'm just getting it starts with you. Success starts with you. That's what I'm getting on that one. Yeah, trust. Trust in the flow. Okay. Hang on. Right, so with this card, trust in the flow, what I'm getting is, as an example, right, I'm going to use myself as an example here because that's what I'm getting, this kind of feeling. But over the past few years, what I've learnt is there's no point worrying over things, like, as an example, say you lose your job and you're thinking about finances and, oh, how am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to... Easier said than done, I know, but if you can get in a mindset of the universe always provides, you always get what you need, rather than a mindset of lack, then you will draw more abundance towards you. If you're stuck in a fearful mindset of lack, then that's what the universal energy is going to give back to you, more lack. Does that make sense? So, trusting in the flow that you will always be provided for. Yeah, might not seem like it at some points, but with that mindset, I only bring myself into this because many years ago I used to think in the lack mentality myself, and I used to be on the, breadline, I had 2 small children on my own back then as well, and it was like, You know, how am I going to provide for them? What am I, you know? But I always found with that sort of mindset that I was stuck in that, you know, reality. Whereas nowadays I'm in a more, and it took me a long time to get there, you know. I'm not just saying it happens overnight, you know, it's your thought process. But the more that you can trust that, you know, everything will be provided, the more that you pull in. So if you can try and keep yourself in that flow mindset of, you know, not worrying about it. I know, easier said than done, I get it. But the more that you can practice that, the more that will flow to you. And you've got this success card as well. So, you know, successful manifesting here. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think, you know, it's easy to put yourself in that mindset. But, you know, I've got too many cards here, Spirit. But we'll go with them. We'll go with them. Right. Oh. Do you know what? Sorry, my cat's just gone to the toilet. Oh, and it stinks. Nuts. Right, anyway. I'm sure you didn't need to know that. It's just if I start going... Ooh. Right, so we've got decisions, 2 different decision making here. I've got 2 different paths. This could also go with what I said before, you know, about 2 people joining some sort of partnership. Sometimes we have our own paths to lead, yeah? So in other words, you don't have to do everything together or in the same way, yeah? Still coming, or it could just simply be you know, if it's not a partnership, you know, doing things differently. That's fine because you'll get to that end goal in the end, yeah? I've got face the beast with someone here. This could be, yet again, financial, you know, it could be some sort of legal, you know, battle that you've been through, or, you know, could be divorce, you know, something like that. Take it as it resonates, but facing the beast. So this could also go back into what I was saying before about drawing up, you know, some sort of budget plan. You know, when facing it head on, so it's not, you know, putting you in fear, you know, trust him. I've also got judgment. So I do feel there is a swift move forward here, you know. I also feel that... Hang on. I've got the universe is listening. Spirit is listening. Right, tell Spirit what it is you're trying to achieve here. Make your voice known is what I've got. Right. I don't know. Something keeps coming in and out here. I don't know what. Can't quite grasp it. Maybe we'll come back to that. I've got dreaming big and completion as well. So I do feel whatever you're working on at the minute, you know, it's going to be successful, or it's got the chance of being successful. Yeah. Depending on what decisions you make and what you put into it. Yeah? What sort of plan you draw up. What is it that you're hoping to achieve is what I'm getting there. I'm also getting whatever you can dream can become a reality. Yeah? And facing any fears, worries, doubts, anything like that head on will, you know, bring more success in. Right, I'm just going to pull one of these to finish off. I've just got these cards. What are they called? Whispers of Why. Right, why are we going through this energy at the minute, Spirit? That's going to be the question. Why are we going through this financial energy? To help you see through a new lens. Yeah, definitely. Right, Pathfinders, I hope you got something out of that. If you did, please leave a like or a comment. If you haven't subscribed and you got through this whole video, then please. And hopefully I shall see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye.